All right, time to get started. So you guys know that I'm super new at this. I'm super bad with technology, so I'm learning. So please bear with me. I appreciate your attention, and hopefully I'm bringing some ideas to the forefront that haven't been brought up yet. I'm sure some of it will be a rehash, but I have about 5 pages of notes here, and I don't want to read them to you, but I do want to make sure that I cover everything and that I'm not like jumping back and forth. So here we go. Gonna get right into it. And remember, this is all for educational purposes only, speculation, just my opinion. Okay. In the Tony Dodge interview, Sammy used these exact words before she stopped herself. She said, and we've all noticed this, she said, "I have her completely," and then she said something else after a long pause. It was really weird. If you don't remember it, go back and watch it. I have her completely. Okay? So, she also used strange language when she said, oh, we just remembered that she had hubcaps on her car. We just remembered that she had a sunroof. We just remembered about the sticker on the back of her car. We just remembered? So what, they've got like this collective mind? I mean, they do. That's why they've been having all the teen-to-teen talks. But so strange. Okay. And not once have I ever heard of Sammy actually having a boyfriend of her own. I mean, she's gorgeous, right? She's beautiful, vivacious, popular, most likely popular. She's definitely an extrovert. I'm sure she's interested in guys, maybe girls, who knows, maybe both. But we haven't heard anything about her love interests. There's been murmurs that there was something between her and Jagger at some point. Murmurs that there was something between her and Kylie's new guy, who may or may not be named Nate. Here, let me straighten that out. Okay. Let's see. And maybe she's had a tryst with Jagger. Maybe she had a thing with this other guy. Was he there at that party? If so, was Kylie giving him attention? Could Sammy have been texting Jagger? He's here. Him and Kylie are off wherever, Just speculation, just some questions. And another question. When that picture of Mags, the one laying on the bed, I'm taking my glasses off because of the glare. I don't mind looking smart, but the glare is horrible. The picture of Mags, however you say it, on the bed, wearing the pink tie-dye sweatshirt, it looks like. Another sweatshirt. Okay. And she's got like a vape in her hand and a phone charger's laying on the bed. And you see just like from here up, just the eyes and the forehead of a blonde girl that I think at first people thought it was Kylie just because it said Kylie Rodney on it as if it was from her account. But if you look closely, you can see very distinctively the hairline and the eyes look to me like it's Sammy, which, there's nothing wrong with that, of course. Just my question is, when was the picture taken and when was it posted? Was it posted on Kylie's account or was it posted on somebody else's account? So, these are all things to establish and just like I said, just questions. And was it Kylie's last Be Real? I don't know. So in that video that Jagger made of him and Kylie on the pier, oh my God. I didn't like it the first time I saw it, but I didn't think that much of it. I thought, oh, that's cute, right? He's making a movie of her and he's just so in love with her. But it's creepy that he puts the video on and that he then posted it saying that she doesn't know about this movie. I mean, that's kind of stalkerish. That's odd. It's not cool to take a video of somebody without them knowing. in my opinion. But the behavior, the interaction, first they're all lovey-dovey, and then he pretends to throw her in the water a couple of times, or he pretends like he's going to throw her in the water, and then she pretends to kick him in the crotch, and then he runs away with his hands over his crotch. It's my opinion that maybe this video is like a synopsis of their dynamic, that, she's kind of pushing him away, and he's so enamored with her, he doesn't know what to do. He's going to throw her in the water because she's so pretty, and he's going to mess up her hair and her makeup and her dress. I mean, I don't know. It's just odd. It's especially odd both that he made the movie and that he posted it admitting that he did it secretively. Like, how weird is that? These are things that could be called flying close to the sun, if you know what I mean. So the content is a snapshot of his dysfunctional behavior towards her, in my humble opinion. It alludes to a psyche of a potentially abusive partner. I know I've had some interactions with boyfriends, none like that. That would totally freak me out. Actually, my daughter had an interaction with a cute boy like that on their first date, and she never saw him again. He pretended he was going to push her in the water off a bridge. It wasn't even that high of a bridge. It wasn't that deep of water, but she was just like, what? Okay, so, in that video, again, she was demonstrating that she's a fighter. She didn't just take it laying down. She fought back. And we've all heard of how on the night in question, Kylie's phone sent the text to Jagger that said something to the effect of, "I'm sorry you're going through that." And he said that was at 10:30, and that was in response to some texts that he had sent her earlier in the day or the evening, complaining about his day. So, it didn't sound like that big of a deal. But now, at this juncture, knowing what we know, potentially what we know, some of the questions that have been brought to light, sorry for the noise. I told my kids, be quiet, but somebody just slammed the back door, just letting the dogs in or out. So back on track here, I need to learn how to edit. Again, my apologies. So when she said, "I'm sorry you're going through that," what exactly was he complaining about his day? Was he just saying how work was messed up? He couldn't get his car started. He stubbed his toe. Or was he complaining about how heartbroken he was? I have heard through the rumor mill on YouTube that he made some posts, maybe Instagram posts, that indicated that he really did not want her to go to that party. So I don't know. And it's important because he was a significant person in her life, especially with a breakup. That's the most dangerous time for a person in an abusive relationship, if it is in fact an abusive relationship. So her response was delayed. It was kind of curt, impersonal. If I was complaining about my day and all somebody said was, "Oh, I'm sorry you're going through that," I'd think, "Oh, well, obviously you don't care." I mean, just my own interpretation. But in one of Jagger's very last posts, since Kylie was discovered, he wrote something to the effect of, "I hope it's what you wanted it to be." I know that's not the exact words, but it's something like that. And he's saying it sounds like about her afterlife. It's kind of creepy. It really makes me scratch my head. So on August 7th, the day after the roadside assist, Jagger and Kate took the Fox News crew on what looked like to me like a wild goose chase out of state into Reno. And it looked like it was a ruse. Is that how you say it? A distraction. They got an interview in a parking lot, and they were both so flat. They both kept their hands over their crotches like this, very meek, looking down, flat affect. When Kate said, "Oh, everything was normal. We made creme brulee." I was just like, why is she holding on to that E for like a minute? It seemed to me that that was kind of all she had. We made creme brulee, which would imply that it would take a long time, that it was something special that they had planned. I mean, maybe they did it spontaneously, but it does take a while, I think, if you're going to do it right. You know, you got to get your blowtorch out and stuff. I've never made it. And it's just really curious. And, you know, very, very extremely curious. So Jagger's words are just as interesting to me when he stated, in this current situation, I'm not worried about her at all. I know she's safe. I think I'll find her. We'll find her. Somebody will find her. The part where the whole thing is strange, but the part especially strange to me is when he says, in this current situation. As if, are there other situations? Was there a situation that was yesterday that was different from the one right now? Was there a situation from the night before last that's different from the one right now? I've always found that strange. You know, and you gotta trust your instinct. The things that strike you immediately are often right on the money. So here we are, Monday, Labor Day, a national holiday, and it seems very likely to me that there'll be a press release sometime this week related to the revelations in the Adventures with Purpose video, and their talk of subsequent videos that they want to release, but they're waiting to see what the investigation does or which direction it goes in. You know, they're obviously professionals. They're obviously doing their best to stick with the truth, to keep their integrity intact, to keep trust with them from law enforcement, trust with them from families. You know, their work is very important to them. They're very passionate about what they do. And if you've seen some of these interviews that the creator of AWP and Doug have done with some YouTubers these last few days, they're very interesting. I would highly recommend them. I'm thinking the one, of course, was on Zav Girl. I think it was Jared. And Ryan Upchurch came back into the scene. And he has also come into the scene with a few videos that I'll get to later. Anyway, those interviews, where was the other one? I can't remember. It might have been All American Dream Chaser or the No Thanks investigations. I'm not sure. I'll have to get back to that. So, when Jagger said, okay, don't do anything stupid, have fun, don't do anything stupid, again, right away I thought, is he trying to set the stage for the fact that maybe she did something stupid? So I keep getting back to that, and I just hope that he doesn't do anything stupid. I hope that these kids don't do anything stupid. When I say stupid, I mean like run, flee. That is what makes people look guilty. Not cooperating with the investigation. It would be smart for them to lawyer up, whether they're guilty of things or not. It would be very wise for them to lawyer up, and we know that Sammy's mom is well versed in that, and could connect them with some lawyers. But what else? I'm sorry, I keep putting these things on and off again. It's just the glare really bothers me. So, have you heard of rumor over the weekend that Jagger may or may not have been admitted to a hospital? I hope it's not true. I hope he hasn't hurt himself. I hope nobody's hurt him. But those are the other things that I'm concerned about with these kids while this is kind of hanging out there in the wind. I think that the investigators need to get to it. One of the most important things to law enforcement in a community like this is maintaining the integrity of the community. And when I say that, I'm talking specifically about industry and revenue. We all know that Tahoe is one of the world-class skiing premier sites in the world. And summer is their slow season. So summer is when their businesses are, things are thin, so to speak. And they're looking forward to the snow when the cash cow starts rolling in. And here we are, the last day of summer, so that's getting closer. And as that's getting closer, law enforcement is going to do everything they can to make people feel like this is a very safe place to come for your family vacation. I mean, when I lived in San Francisco, we would drive there every weekend if we could. I think it's about 3 hours, and totally worth the drive. It's miserable when you get up to the Sierras and the snow is 10 feet deep, literally, and you're driving on probably a foot of compressed snow, and you can see the snow next to you that's 10 feet deep. I mean, it's crazy. If you haven't been there, holy kaboli. But it is the most amazing place to ski. I've skied a couple other places, and it does not even compare. So, that's an international hotspot for skiing, and they're going to want to maintain their stature and their reputation. That said, that's more important to them than one case, in my opinion. So, let's see. Did I skip a page? I don't think I did. Okay. I'm getting towards the end here already. Good. So, addressing the latest Ryan Upchurch, I'd like to say this. I believe, once again, I don't agree with what he's saying. However, I'm down with Ryan Upchurch. I think he is a master of the art of YouTube. Okay? I think he's being very strategic, and that he's simply trying to demonstrate to all of us that we really don't know what is real or who is real, who any of these people are, who these YouTubers are, who they're connected to, who might be paying them to say certain things. When we see in the news media only a small portion of the whole picture, which may or may not be accurate, there's a lot more to the story. There's a lot that's never going to get into the media. But just the whole topic with Upchurch of the catfishing, that's a huge thing right now. I believe that's what he's doing, and for that I applaud him. For anything he says that is hurtful to Kylie's family, I think that's really, really rough. But if it gets the truth for her family, it's worth it. Sometimes you got to do super difficult things for the greater good. So I wanted to say something about the tinfoil hats, okay? Do you have yours ready? I don't have mine, but I could go grab it if I need to. None of us want there to be foul play. None of us want it to be more interesting. There's plenty of horrible crimes that the true crime community can focus on, in the intrigue of putting together the puzzle. And I think for myself and a lot of us, that's what gets us, is the fascination of putting this puzzle together. And when you're right, it's like, oh, that's cool. But sometimes it's like, oh, thank God I'm right. Thank God I'm not right. Thank God I'm not right. For in this situation, I don't want anybody's frenemies to have hurt them or hidden the fact that they were injured, gravely injured. I don't want that at all. I want this to be some sort of accident that it was misconstrued, right? Just a big misunderstanding. The evidence is adding up. To me, it feels like some of these YouTubers have their tinfoil hats on with all this evidence. They're like, I don't believe any of it. It was an accident. It was a drunk driving accident. That's what Jagger wants you to think. Jagger has been saying it was a drunk accident, happens all the time, no big deal, get on with it, people. Sammy has a different agenda or narrative that she wants you to think, which it is like these bad guys that shove bong rips in your face as soon as you get to the party. That they did something to her or with her, and God forbid, I hope she was not assaulted. I hope there was none of that. None of that. I mean, for the family, for her, it's a horrible, horrible situation. At best, it's a horrible situation. We don't need it to be heinous upon heinous upon heinous. And if it was, because we all know that horrible things, heinous things happen, and that there's people with very dark hearts or no heart at all. And there's violence against women, be it from an intimate partner or a random stalker or serial killer. Violence against women is nothing new. What's new is people caring and people trying to get to the bottom of it. So that's a very good thing. So my point with that was, the people that want to keep pushing this agenda of it was just a car accident, what's your agenda? Why are you on this conspiracy theory that it's just a car accident? Sure, it could have been, but let's gather all the evidence and find out. So, I think I'm at my closing here. Kylie's mom, man, I just want to say, Lindsay, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry if my making a video or a series of videos about your situation is hurtful to you. It's the last thing I want. I hope that it's helpful. I hope that it's a good feeling to you to know that there's people all over the world that care about you and your family and Kylie. There's people across the pond that are getting more information than I'm getting, and I'm on this side of the pond. So, in Lindseys' approach to criticizing Adventures with Purpose, I'm thinking she might be strategic in aligning herself with the kids that are trying to call bullshit on the tow truck driver, which maybe the tow truck driver is bullshit. I don't know. We'll find out. My guess is that he's not. They've got all this digital information. They've got the dash cam video locked up that will either support his story or contradict his story. It should have a timestamp on it. We should know exactly when it was. I said this in my other video about it. I believe that when he was being vague, saying no, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, that he was doing that for the benefit of law enforcement. He was trying to leave the door open. They're not trying to do law enforcement's job for them. They're trying to help. They're trying to help out of the goodness of their hearts, is my opinion. The other option with Lindsay is just that she's in utter shock and denial that her daughter's friends that she feels like are family members would do this to Lindsay or to anybody or to her. Denial is very strong for a lot of people, for a lot of things, and it protects us. It protects us. We can lift the denial when we are able to handle the truth. But sometimes you can't handle the truth. I mean, really. The truth should not be used as a weapon. It should be used carefully and respectfully. And I'll just leave that at that. The truth should never be used as a weapon against anybody. So, for her to think that kids could be so sinister, potentially, is just unreal. Or at the very least, so reckless that it would cost her daughter her life and that they would try to hide the facts from her. I mean, the unkind, uncaring nature of that is so uncool. I'll just leave it there. my mom, who I love dearly, and she passed away a few months ago, and it's awful. She would always meditate and imagine me with white light around me when she was concerned about my safety. And it seemed to work. I mean, it worked for her. It calmed her down if she knew I was traveling and was concerned that I was more vulnerable to mayhem. But what I wanted to bring that up for is just to encourage all of us praying for her family. And some of us don't pray. Some people are offended by that. My mother was one of those people. So she would meditate, which is kind of the same thing in my opinion. So meditate or pray for Kylie, for her family, for truth, for justice. Picture them with the white light around them. Keep them in lightness. They need the light. They need it. No matter what. Absolutely no matter what. And I think that's it. This last page I already covered. And that's a very good place to end. So I'll see you on the flip side. See you in the next one. I really wanted to get this out today. I'm still working on my studio, as you can see. I got my plant and my pretty background, but the lighting is a little bit not right, and the whole thing is a little bit not right. So I'm gonna keep trying. I'll get it. Today I started my channel a week ago yesterday on Sunday. So I'm pretty happy with having as many views as I've had, as many subscribers as I had, as I do have. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. The video I made yesterday of the affidavit, the Placer County Sheriff, please try to watch that, or just look up the affidavit yourself, okay? It's so important. In my opinion, it's imperative to this case. And this was the same person, the Placer County Sheriff, who was in charge of the investigation for more than the first 2 weeks. He was in charge of the missing person investigation. He was still in charge, I believe, when they pulled the car out of the water. And that was when it was transitioning to Nevada County Sheriff, because obviously the car and Kylie were found in Nevada County. But remember, these are neighboring communities. These sheriffs not only know each other, they could have a long history together. Love, hate, indifference, who knows? But, people in any industry try to cooperate and work together and not upset each other. It's bad for business. So we've got the Nevada County Sheriff in charge, the woman. And I'm just hoping that everything is done right by Kylie, and for her grandfather, her dad, her mom, her stepdad, her brother, her aunt, uncle, grandmother, anybody related to her, anybody who was close with her. And just for her, things need to be done with integrity. It's extremely important. So again, keep in mind that in California, the way they do it is the sheriff in rural areas is also the coroner. So, thank God it's not the Placer County Sheriff who's the coroner, because whatever they document is kind of written in stone. And hopefully they don't gloss over anything. Hopefully it was a bad car accident, whether she was driving or somebody else was. But it seems so unlikely, if not impossible, from the location of where they found it and the way it's been described by the father and the grandfather and the locals. It seems like it was put there. So we will wrap it, and we will hopefully have a new one for you tomorrow. Thanks again. Enjoy your holiday. Love everybody in your family. Show them your love. Drink your water. Be happy. Be healthy. Be cool. Give yourself a break. Just relax for the rest of the day. It's a freaking national holiday. You have that license. All right. Take care.